The nature of modern celebrity has undergone a profound transformation over the last few decades, evolving from a simple public fascination with talented individuals into a complex, multi-layered ecosystem of global brand integration. In our contemporary world, the figures who occupy the absolute pinnacle of cultural influence are no longer just artists or athletes operating within the boundaries of their respective fields. Instead, they have become living institutions whose every public action, personal milestone, and private choice can send ripples through global markets and capture the collective imagination of millions. We look at these icons not merely as entertainers, but as the architects of modern mythology. Individuals whose lives are charted across the vast digital landscapes of social media and broadcasted to an audience that spans across continents and generations. When two such monumental forces happen to cross paths, the resulting cultural convergence is rarely just a personal story, but rather a massive media event that redefines the boundaries of public interest and commercial synergy. The fascination with these high-profile unions speaks to a deeper human desire for grand narratives, turning real-world relationships into spectacular dramas played out on the grandest stages imaginable. Where the lines between authentic human emotion and calculated public presentation become fascinatingly blurred. To truly understand the scale of this phenomenon, one must look at the physical spaces where these modern legends choose to cement their legacies, places that have historically been reserved for the most significant events in human entertainment. For generations, legendary arenas like Madison Square Garden have served as the ultimate coliseums of popular culture, witnessing historic athletic battles, unforgettable musical performances, and gatherings that have shaped the course of entertainment history. These massive structures, with their soaring architectures and tens of thousands of seats, are built to contain the collective energy of a civilization, serving as sacred ground where icons are made and history is written in real time. When an event of a deeply personal nature expands to fill a venue of such historic magnitude, it ceases to be a conventional gathering and transforms into an institutional milestone, a spectacle designed to be remembered for decades to come. The sheer ambition required to command such a space for a private milestone reflects the unprecedented status of the individuals involved, signaling to the world that their union is not merely a private agreement, but a monumental chapter in the broader chronicle of contemporary pop culture. As we delve deeper into this unfolding story of unprecedented scale and cultural impact, we invite you to become a permanent part of our community by subscribing to this channel, ensuring that you never miss the detailed breakdowns, deep dives, and exclusive insights into the major events shaping our world today. The intersection of sports and global entertainment has always provided some of the most compelling narratives in modern society, creating a unique space where the raw, unpredictable drama of athletic competition meets the polished, highly produced world of global pop music. Throughout history, there have been rare moments when these two distinct universes collide, creating a cultural explosion that captivates both sports fanatics and pop culture enthusiasts alike, bridging gaps between demographics that otherwise have very little in common. This specific harmony of fields creates a powerful dynamic as the discipline, physical prowess, and competitive spirit of elite sports blend with the emotional resonance, artistic vision, and widespread devotion commanded by a global musical icon. It is a formula that has historical precedence, yet every time it manifests in the modern era, it feels entirely unprecedented, challenging our understanding of how fame operates and how massive public platforms can be leveraged to create something entirely new. The build-up to this particular moment was marked by months of intense public scrutiny, wild speculation, and an absolute frenzy of media coverage that followed every single public appearance, every shared glance, and every subtle hint dropped across global communication networks. Every detail was analyzed by experts and fans alike, turning a developing personal relationship into a massive, crowdsourced detective story where every piece of clothing, every choice of venue, and every public statement was treated as a clue toward a grander conclusion. This atmosphere of heightened expectation created a unique cultural climate where the public felt deeply invested in the outcome, eagerly anticipating how these two massive worlds would eventually formalize their connection. The anticipation grew to a fever pitch as the date approached, setting the stage for a weekend that would dominate headlines across the globe and leave an indelible mark on the history of celebrity culture, proving once and for all that in the 21st century, the grandest personal milestones are also the ultimate expressions of global cultural dominance, Behind the bright lights and the massive public attention lies a fascinating strategy of modern branding, where personal identity and commercial viability are inextricably linked in a way that requires careful navigation and immense foresight. Managing a global public image at this level is an art form in itself, requiring a delicate balance between authentic, relatable human emotion and the high-stakes demands of a multi-million-dollar corporate empire. The individuals at the center of this narrative are absolute masters of this craft, having spent years carefully building their independent platforms, establishing deep connections with their respective audiences, and securing their positions as undisputed leaders of their industries. As their lives began to intertwine, the question on every industry analyst's mind was not just about the romance itself, but about how these two colossal entities would navigate the delicate process of merging their public identities without compromising the unique qualities that made them successful in the first place. This narrative is a testament to the power of modern stardom, a story that moves far beyond the traditional boundaries of romance to explore the very mechanics of fame, influence, and the creation of a lasting cultural legacy. The grand culmination of this cultural convergence materialized on Friday, July 3, when Taylor Swift and Travis Kelce officially formalized their union at the iconic Madison Square Garden, transforming the legendary 20,000-seat arena into a breathtaking monument to their shared journey. This was not a traditional exchange of vows hidden away from the world, but a meticulously orchestrated masterpiece of modern celebration that effectively functioned as the historic merging of two massive, multi-billion-dollar global brands. The sheer scale of the event was reflected in every aesthetic choice, most notably through the introduction of a custom-designed, highly sophisticated corporate monogram that served as the primary visual anchor for the entire weekend. This striking emblem featured two capital letters T, seamlessly connected at the very top of their structures and elegantly bound together by a pair of delicately woven interlocking hearts, representing a permanent visual tie between the worlds of elite international music and premier professional athletics. Instead of relying solely on traditional floral arrangements or standard luxury decor, the couple utilized this unique emblem as a central branding anchor, emblazoning it across massive display walls, prominent media podiums, and the very architecture of the garden itself. This visual signature made its initial appearance during the exclusive rehearsal dinner held on the eve of the ceremony, appearing on plush, custom-crafted gift boxes that the distinguished guests carried away as mementos of the historic occasion. The thematic continuity extended directly into the main ceremony, where the newly minted icon was found beautifully embroidered onto delicate keepsake handkerchiefs, distributed to every attendee as a permanent wedding favor. Elite event planners who have spent decades designing ultra-exclusive gatherings for some of the world's most high-profile public figures noted that while personal monograms have been a staple of luxury weddings for quite some time, the execution here represented an entirely new paradigm of marital branding. The process behind creating such a symbol involves months of collaborative conceptual design, working closely with elite graphic artists to draft, refine, and select from dozens of sophisticated visual options until a definitive emblem is born. This design process creates a visual asset that carries massive long-term value, as many ultra-wealthy couples choose to formally trademark these custom creations, transforming their wedding day symbols into permanent corporate assets used on private transportation, residential architecture, and luxury merchandise throughout their lifetimes. While there are no publicly available legal filings at this precise moment to confirm that the 36-year-old superstar musician and her equally famous professional athlete husband have officially registered this specific emblem with international trademark offices, industry experts widely agree that such a step is an absolute inevitability. The strategic move aligns perfectly with the established business practices of the global pop icon, who currently possesses an extensive commercial empire protected by well over 150 active trademarks, covering an incredibly diverse array of intellectual property. Her legal protections range from the literal names of her beloved feline companions, Meredith, Olivia, and Benjamin Swift, to some of the most recognizable lyrical catchphrases from her record-breaking discography, proving a deep, foundational understanding of how to safeguard creative and personal identity in the modern commercial landscape. This latest emblem represents the definitive visual manifestation of the ultimate cultural Uber brand colloquially known across the globe as Tayvis, a pop culture phenomenon that commands unprecedented financial value and media real estate. However, the decision to elevate a deeply personal romantic milestone into a highly visible, branded public spectacle carries a unique set of structural risks that require immense caution and strategic foresight to successfully navigate. Leading sports marketing authorities and consumer behavior experts warn that there is an incredibly fine line between successfully cementing a powerful joint brand and alienating a global audience through excessive commercialization. Cynical observers and media critics are quick to view such highly managed public events through a purely transactional lens, raising the stakes for the couple as they attempt to balance their shared public image with their independent professional pursuits. To avoid overwhelming their respective fan bases, both individuals must ensure that their incredibly successful individual careers continue to flourish along distinct paths. Avoiding the temptation to completely synthesize every single project under a unified corporate banner to maintain an aura of refined elegance and authentic artistic during the high-profile festivities. The couple engaged in a highly sophisticated strategy of stealth branding, meticulously selecting world-renowned fashion houses to craft their visual identities without relying on overt commercial messaging. For their official engagement photographs, both individuals selected timeless, classic garments designed by Ralph Lauren, establishing an initial aesthetic of classic American luxury that resonated deeply with their shared public narratives. When the momentous wedding day finally arrived, they elevated this stylistic presentation even further by selecting custom-tailored creations from the legendary French fashion house Christian Dior, ensuring that the visual presentation of the ceremony remained rooted in the absolute highest echelons of global haute couture. This thoughtful approach to fashion was highly praised by academic directors of elite sports management and business programs, who noted that the billionaire musician is operating from a position of absolute financial independence. Having already achieved total commercial success throughout her legendary career, because she possesses no financial need to aggressively monetize her personal milestones, her approach to the wedding was characterized by an extraordinary level of thoughtful curation, high-end sophistication, and artistic integrity, suggesting that any future integration of the shared logo will be handled with extreme care. Rather than utilizing the distinct double T design for standard commercial merchandise like mass-produced t-shirts or basic apparel, industry insiders strongly believe the emblem will eventually find its home embedded within the couple's professional artistic portfolios. The custom artwork could very easily serve as a central visual component for the cover of a future studio album, or act as a thematic anchor for an upcoming creative project documenting this transformative chapter of her personal life and artistic journey. Securing formal legal control over the custom monogram through official trademark channels is also a highly necessary defensive measure, particularly given the immediate proliferation of unauthorized reproductions across online consumer marketplaces. Within mere hours of the ceremony's conclusion, unauthorized counterfeiters and independent digital creators began attempting to replicate the distinctive double T design, offering knockoff drinking glasses, unauthorized apparel, and unapproved commemorative novelties on popular e-commerce platforms like Etsy. While the initial prices fetched by these unauthorized items remained relatively modest, hovering around $24 for basic glassware, the rapid emergence of these products highlights the immense commercial magnetism and immediate consumer demand generated by the couple's joint image. The potential for legitimate, high-end commercial integration remains almost entirely limitless, driven by a combined digital audience of staggering proportions that spans across multiple major social media platforms. The legendary singer commands an astronomical following of over 273 million dedicated individuals on Instagram alone, providing her with an unprecedented global megaphone to instantly influence consumer trends and cultural conversations. Simultaneously, her star tight end husband has seen his own digital audience skyrocket to over 8 million followers, a massive figure that represents nearly 4 times the audience he possessed before his high-profile relationship captured the public imagination. While the world-renowned musician undisputedly remains the higher-profile figure within this historic partnership, the relationship has functioned as a highly beneficial, dynamic two-way street that has profoundly expanded the cultural reach of both individuals. Her enthusiastic embrace of professional sports culture and frequent appearances in luxury stadium suites have introduced her artistry to an entirely new demographic of traditional athletic enthusiasts, who now view her creative genius and cultural influence with an immense sense of newfound admiration and deep respect. The long-term commercial trajectory of this newly formalized partnership mirrors some of the most successful and enduring blueprints in the history of global celebrity branding, most notably drawing direct parallels to the iconic legacy established by David and Victoria Beckham, when the legendary British soccer captain and the world-famous pop star exchanged vows back in the summer of 1999, their own meticulously designed, entwined initials became a central feature of a historic celebration that seamlessly bridged the distinct worlds of elite athletic competition and international entertainment. In the decades that followed, that initial visual union laid the groundwork for an incredibly lucrative global empire, with Victoria launching a highly successful luxury fashion and denim line under the specialized monogram, while David utilized their shared aesthetic equity to propel his wildly successful international fragrance, lifestyle, and sportswear lines. Much like their celebrated British counterparts, the newly wedded American powerhouse couple perfectly straddles these two incredibly influential cultural domains, yet they appear deeply intent on preserving the independent passions, professional autonomy, and distinct career paths that define their individual rises to global superstardom. Leading sports marketing strategists observe that within the Beckham model, each individual maintains a highly distinct professional identity while enthusiastically supporting the other's endeavors, creating a balanced dynamic where neither figure overshadows the other's core achievements. This proven operational structure makes perfect strategic sense for this new partnership, ensuring that the legendary gridiron champion remains a premier, authoritative force within the realm of professional football rather than perceived merely as a supporting figure within his wife's massive entertainment ecosystem. As the 36-year-old athlete enters the natural twilight of his illustrious on-field professional football career, the strategic focus inevitably shifts toward building a permanent corporate legacy that will extend far beyond his eventual retirement from active competition. Following the exact path carved out by elite athletes who successfully transitioned from the field into the highest echelons of global business ownership, he has already begun laying the groundwork for a massive secondary career in corporate sports leadership. This long-term vision was recently demonstrated by his strategic financial acquisition of a significant ownership stake in a professional baseball franchise located in his beloved hometown of Cleveland, highlighting a clear desire to transition seamlessly into the world of major sports equity and franchise governance. Industry analysts widely project that the couple will increasingly leverage their immense combined capital to engage in massive, high-profile investment ventures spanning across prestigious independent production companies, global media networks, and minority ownership stakes in major professional sports franchises across multiple leagues. The modern sports landscape has witnessed a massive surge in prominent entertainment figures and elite cultural icons becoming influential minority owners of sports franchises, a strategic financial move that allows busy celebrities to act as high-profile institutional investors without requiring daily operational management. This specific investment model provides a highly effective avenue for elite individuals to maintain a powerful, visible presence at major athletic events globally while simultaneously continuing to manage their own highly demanding, independent professional schedules on the international stage. The potential for creative and commercial crossover between their two vastly different professional universes extends far beyond basic financial investments, offering a rich landscape for collaborative cultural projects that can reshape the entertainment industry. The global music icon could easily continue to lean into the vibrant world of professional athletics, building upon her highly publicized, widely celebrated appearances at packed stadium games and historic arena events across the country over the past several seasons. Elite marketing executives who manage portfolios for iconic sports legends point to other groundbreaking unions between tech innovators and elite athletes as prime examples of how a shared life can spark an absolute obsession with new professional industries. This dynamic often inspires creative power couples to actively collaborate on the rapid development of rising athletic sectors, particularly given the historic, unprecedented global rise of women's professional sports leagues and the singer's long-standing position as an incredibly influential, prominent voice for female empowerment on the global stage. This unique alignment of values and resources could easily position the couple as the ultimate founding investors or primary cultural ambassadors for a new era of professional sports development, creating a powerful joint brand centered around equity, entertainment, and athletic excellence. Looking even further down the road toward the future development of their shared legacy, any potential expansion of their family would instantly open up an entirely new, incredibly lucrative avenue of global marketing opportunities and family-oriented brand integrations. The natural evolution into family-focused branding has historically proven to be one of the most stable, sustainable, and consumer-friendly spaces in the global corporate ecosystem, unlocking massive potential partnerships with elite automotive manufacturers, luxury children's fashion houses, educational foundations, and premium lifestyle brands. As long as the couple remains aligned in their personal and professional visions, the long-term financial viability and cultural influence of their combined entity remain completely unparalleled in modern pop culture history, ensuring that their shared symbol will endure as an institutional landmark for decades to come. Ultimately, this historic union represents far more than a simple romantic